This song, Change, was born out of that same state of mind that, you know, yes, there are a lot of things wrong, but Nigeria can change for the better. In the song, we try to be honest with ourselves, because I think that's the first step, is being honest about the situation that you're in. So we list a lot of the problems that we're going through as a country, but then it has an optimistic, you know, thing where it's like, yes, all of these things are wrong, but we still believe in Nigeria. We still believe that Nigeria can be a better place. So the hope is that this song just kind of, you know, reminds people what we're fighting for, reminds people, you know, where we're trying to go, and inspires young people to just be a part of it. It's the soundtrack for change. It's the soundtrack for people who want to see Nigeria better, and hopefully it'll inspire, you know, Nigerians in and outside of the country to be a part of the effort and to move Nigeria to a better place. Yeah, Suka, we're gonna start the track again. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Turn it up a little bit. All right, cool. That's good. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Naija, it's time to make a change. Our people, they die. Our children, they cry. Our leaders, they lie. Just stand up, cause it's time to make a change. Our people, they die. Our children, they cry. Our leaders, they lie. Just stand up, cause it's time to make a change. New Year, same story. New regime, all glory. More promises, more lies. Naija, we no try. From no lights to bad roads, from armed robbers to Boko Haram. Instead of going higher, we go from frying pan to fire. We must rise and take a stand. We must heal our fatherland. We need peace and unity. It's up to you and me.
Politically active and socially aware, Banky W is part of a growing movement of young Nigerian leaders in business, entertainment, and civil society who are coming together and speaking out for change.
Big wheels turn slow, but they do turn, right? So I think that Nigeria is a very big wheel, and, you know, a lot of problems have been there for many years, but I think that, you know, with all these efforts, we can start to move the country in the right direction. The hope is that we can be, my generation of young people can be part of the group that sparks the change.
Young people's participation is helping change Nigeria. If you remove the proactiveness of young people, youth groups, youth activists, I do not think the quality of Nigeria's democracy today will be where it is. And so there is truly a huge youth capital that is being harnessed in our current democratic process.
We have 70% of our population, or 75% of our population below the age of 35. That gives us about 104 million young Nigerians.
So if that demographic is fully aware of what their rights are, what their responsibilities are as citizens, and are able to make demands based on that, we think we can change the dynamics and the way the governors and the governed interact in Nigeria.
Every single country that is going to build a future, a sustainable future, has to engage the next generation. And the current next generation we have in Nigeria are business savvy, are technologically savvy, and politically savvy, they're socially savvy. More importantly, they want to serve.
We are already doing things, so it's not like we're hoping, you know. It's not like we're just praying about it. We're actually doing something about it.
I've attended so many seminars, so many forums where I had to mingle with other youth, and I've heard, you know, hearing the way they speak about these changes passionately really make you believe definitely we will see the changes.
We don't need the whole population in Nigeria to change. We just need a critical mass. We need enough minds to be able to turn this nation around, and I'm very optimistic that in a few years down the line, I'm not sure how soon, but I'm very, very optimistic that it is going to happen. Nigeria is going to change for the better.
When people say enough is enough and they get fed up with the way they're being treated, they start to take that power back. So you don't just let somebody get appointed, you actually go and register to vote and select who you want to lead you.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigerians who are called obey, but still suffer each day. We must vote that naughty way, peaceful protest as we pray. Till they do just what they say, till Naija begins to change.
Social media is movement's driving force. Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube are all being used with powerful impact.
We thought that given limited resources, limited time, that we could leverage on the power of technology. The rallies we held in Abuja and Lagos were really more or less organized via text message, BBMs, emails. We did a few flyers, but it wasn't a huge media blitz. It was really word of mouth and people working their networks.
Now people have, a medium to voice out, So it's not just LD doing a one-day song. It's everyone on Twitter, everyone on Facebook, people starting to feel a sense of ownership in a sense, and a sense of control.
The 5 million Nigerians on Facebook, if we get 1 million of them, even 500,000, very simply, of them engaged and aware of the issues, and each person of that 500,000 influences 5 other people, the exponential effect is quite significant.
But then now you can see pretty much everything that goes on Twitter, on Facebook, so there's more access to what's going on, and people who feel the need to contribute are starting to feel like, hey, you know what, I can maybe do this and I can maybe do that.
So we're building mobile phone applications, web platforms, heavy use of social media to engage, raise awareness, get people asking questions, and get people interacting and engaging.
Part of the movement's energy comes from young Nigerians who have returned from the diaspora, bringing powerful new ideas for social and political change, fueled by new technology and entrepreneurial know-how. One is Kola Oyeneyi.
I felt that the time was right as a Nigerian who had lived abroad, gained a few years work experience, tasted a different standard of living. And I realized that people back home didn't understand what it meant to have a good standard of living. And I felt that I had a role to play in letting people know that we could get the kind of standard that we've had experienced outside of Nigeria. And for that to happen, I couldn't do it outside of Nigeria. I had to come back in.
Oyeneyi's Venia Hub is a launchpad for young Nigerian entrepreneurs who are encouraged to create business solutions for social problems.
What I felt that I needed to do was to create a platform for young people to express their ideas. So if your idea is trying to help the government sort out street light problems, how can you do it in a way that would be profitable, that would be sustainable? And if you then need help in making that happen, I'm here.
Another high-tech incubator is the Co-Creation Hub in Lagos, a crucible for new ideas to speed social and political change.
We're a social enterprise, and what we exist to do is to see how to channel creativity and innovation of Nigerians to solving the problems in Nigeria.
Co-Creation Hub is the birthplace of smart new apps like Budget and Nigerian Constitution, which lets Nigerians learn about their rights by downloading the Constitution to their mobile phones.
The first day of launch actually did about 5,000 downloads, and just between 72 hours it had about 10,000 downloads, which was a kind of like alarming, a new thing in Nigeria, if you will. And there was a whole lot of buzz about it. People were talking about it. Hey, you need to go check out the Nigerian Constitution and have it on your mobile phone. It was kind of like the talk of the town.
I have the Constitution in my lap on my phone. I do have it on my phone. It's right there. So that's not to say when a policeman stops me, I have to go, okay, is he supposed to stop me? Yes or no? No. But then I read it from time to time. I just want to know what's going on, if this is constitutional, if this is not.
They are holding people in government accountable to delivering on their responsibility, to make sure that their own rights are not being trampled upon.
Like Constitution, Budget is empowering citizens by making government spending priorities more transparent.
And we came up with this idea that how can we make budgets that are more simpler, more understandable, and more accessible to young Nigerians.
It was not only showing us what was being spent, but it was showing us how we could cut costs at different parts of the government, how you could reduce the number of people in this sector, that sector, how we could generate more funds from it. So it's fantastic.
I've never seen young Nigerians study the budget as much that they have. To the fact that, to your point about celebrities, people like Banky W and LD, very well-known hip-hop artists, on Twitter would be tweeting line items for the federal budget.
As a Nigerian youth, you need to understand that politics, government is the biggest spender in the economy. and it really, most of the business decisions in an economy like Nigeria depends on it.
So I think when people start understanding that this is how much my community gets a month and this is what it's for, then people will begin to really be like, no, there's something very wrong about this.
We're showing people that yes, it is possible that you can actually make a difference. You don't actually have to be in government to make a difference. Around a small area where you're passionate about, you can actually create change.
On the second floor of a small concrete building deep in Lagos's Ajegunle district, the Paradigm Initiative of Nigeria is providing IT training for underserved youth, seeing it as a bridge to jobs, innovation, and economic growth.
The basic idea is to connect them to technology opportunities so they don't have to keep waiting for the job that isn't waiting for them. So they come in for IT training and entrepreneurship training, and after that they get connected to internship opportunities and they get to start doing something with their lives immediately. One of the things we say to them is shine your eye, which is quite popular around here, shine your eye. So open your eyes, the opportunities around you, see them, start doing something with the skills you have right now. So you've learned how to use a computer, you've learned how to use a spreadsheet, you've learned how to design flyers and all that. Use that to promote what you know how to do.
Even in business, you see a lot of young people that are coming up with fantastic business ideas. I sit in my office, and because of what I do, people come in with business plans and business ideas that all they're looking for is 200,000 naira. That's less than $2,000 to start. And sometimes we look for the money and actually give them a seed capital, and they start and they're successful. That's all they need. The possibilities are endless.
Young people change the world. Young people make history. The more young people get involved in Nigeria, the faster we will see that change come, because the older generations, they're used to it. They're not going to rock the boat. We have the energy, and we're still dreaming.
I see my people, they die. Now this kind of thing, they make me sad. Small picking them, they cry. Them no feature up this life too hard. Bad man try to divide. All my people, we must unite. Stand together and fight for your rights. We will soar into greater heights. Shaping our love, peace and unity be the only criteria. No matter where you're from, we are all part of one Nigeria.
Yeah, it brings. I mean, but you say we should talk about the good.
No. I'm just. What about an active role? That's a fantastic point. We talked about change, right? That seems to be a very common theme. How do we change or influence change in the leadership in Nigeria?
When people have had enough, the people themselves will lead their leaders. The leaders will be scrambling to follow the people's cues.
Now, if you begin to see for every aspect of the economy, get young people who are well informed, who understand the process, to get in there and get the work done, I think we're going to see the kind of revolution we all desire.
I think we need to work more collaboration.
Okay.
Because I can have my fantastic ideas of everything I want to do this year, and then you might have fantastic ideas I want to do this year. You also have, if we came together, we will shake the country. And then when we're shaking the country, the government has no choice but to listen to us.
It's like being in a flight, a plane, and your pilot is drunk. If your pilot is drunk, you cannot stay at the back and say, "Oh, I'm not a pilot. I deserve the pilot I get. Oh, right. We are the pilots we are waiting for."
Right.
We need to force the pilot to set the plane right, or we take charge of that cockpit ourselves.
Absolutely.
And
what are our values? Because I think that it will help frame a lot of these questions, getting into government, etc. What does it mean to be Nigerian?
That's a fantastic question. What is your dream for Nigeria?
For starters, a united nation, because there's so much disunity. And we should all just work towards a common goal of ensuring that our people live in harmony, we enjoy social benefits. I mean, there's proper structure, health is provided. I mean, it's just so disorganized. It's
right.
Chude, what's your dream for Nigeria?
Now, for me, my dream for this country is that kind of nation where people have the capacity and the opportunities to do for themselves. A country where people can build their own businesses, form their own destinies legally.
Everything has to do with power.
Everything.
Honestly, maternal mortality, agriculture, etc., business climate, nuts and bolts, it has to do with power. So, in one sense, I just kind of feel maybe the government should just stop everything.
And just fix power. Thank you. Power is the basis of any modern society, and I think that it, like you said, it influences everything. And if you fix power, productivity goes up. Everything automatically gets some sort of fix. And they've been talking about fixing power for so long that it's starting to sound like just an old broken record. But I think that the day that whatever administration comes along and fixes power will be the best administration that we've ever had as a country, period.
The fact that you think that you can do, that we can change this nation, etc.
Right.
And I don't think that that's something that there's the litmus test for that is not necessarily age, right?
Right.
But it's about a concept and a notion
it's about a state of
can
mind.
Connect us, a state of mind, etc.
Yeah.
So if you have that youthful idea, that youthful idealism that you can change something, then we can change. And that is not, you have old individuals who want to mentor us, right? Who are guided by those youthful ideas, who want to guide us. I think the young in spirit and young in heart.
I think the reason why people emphasize on the youth is because we don't expect our fathers who are in their 50s and 60s to come back and make things work. They're already passing out. So
Like someone said,
work is on us now to make things work.
Okay. Emeka?
My point here is we need to brace up and go to that level to say that the state is mine and keep working, keep doing what we're all doing. I want to see the three arms of government, the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature working together to achieve that Nigerian dream we're talking about.
Fix the roots and not try to fix it from the top. Let's fix the foundation of Nigeria. And what's the foundation of Nigeria? It's people. If you can fix the people, if we can get back to that place where we're human again, because people are even afraid to leave. Because if we're human again, I will not take a knife and want to stab you for whatever reason. So can we get back to that point where there's a conscience, there's a person, there's an individuality to our existence, and I begin to love my neighbor, and I can go to the north and not be afraid that I will be killed, and I can move around. I think if the foundation is right, whatever is going to fix that foundation, I think we should focus on it and then begin to build the structures around it.
People try to cooperate. Put your fellow brother, make me tolerate. Join hands together, make me elevate. Cause it's time for change, don't go. See my people try to cooperate. Put your fellow brother, make me tolerate. Join hands together, make me elevate. Cause it's time for change, don't go.
As young Nigerians become more aware of the issues shaping their lives and their futures, and more willing to take political action, their voices are starting to be heard, and the momentum for change is growing stronger.
Mark a major difference from the other protests we have ever done.
Youth should be involved and should pay attention, because the decisions that the government makes, they influence you and they affect you and they affect your future. They affect your opportunities. They affect your life, indirectly or directly. If you want a good life, if you want a shot at being a success, if you want a shot at making your dreams come true, then you have to pay attention to the people that make decisions that affect the environment that will cater to whether you become a success or whether you fail.
Stop complaining about corruption. Stop complaining about bad leadership. Stop complaining about issues you have with government. If you can't get involved in participation, if you can't participate properly, if you can't be actively involved in the issues of politics, then stop your complaints.
Government, politics, governance, whatever word you want to use, you might not be interested, and that's fine. It's your prerogative to be or not to be. But as long as you're also aware that your non-interest is also a decision you've made, and whatever consequences you've come to terms with living with. So the fact that you don't have light, the fact that your roads are bad, I mean, we can name the whole list of issues.
And if these problems are not fixed, if the bad roads are not fixed, one day I'm going to own a car, I'm going to drive down that bad road. If I don't care about the education situation in my country, one day I'm going to have kids. My kids will have to attend these schools. So really, we are all stakeholders, whether old or young, and we all have to pull this nation up as a whole.
There is always a time when you actually think, what do I do to help? am I part of the problem or solution? So I think now more people are thinking of being part of the solution.
If it's to register to vote, if it's to join peaceful protests, like the Occupy Nigeria one that we did, and the Light Up Nigeria, and Enough is Enough, and all of those efforts, if it's to get involved in that way, if it's to write an article, write a song, you know, talk to your friends at school, whatever it is, all of these things put together will start to move the country in the right direction.
So instead of just complaining about it, I say very simple, cause the darkness, okay? Cause the darkness. Oh, governance should be better, healthcare should be better, planes should never drop from the sky and all that. But light a candle, do something. No matter how small it is, do something.
If we want to live and run and lead a country that we'll be proud of, that we'll be proud to hand over to our children, then we need to be doing the work to make it happen. I have a 4-month-old daughter. I'd like her to grow up in a better Nigeria than I grew up in.
Some people would rather sit at home and criticize people that are doing something, and some people are out actually doing something. So I'd rather be a part of the people that are doing something and leave those who want to sit at home and criticize. And if they eventually change their minds, great. If they don't, we'll just keep doing what we're doing anyway.
We must vote that one way. So protest as we pray, till they do just what they say, till Naija begins to change. We must vote that one way. So protest as we pray, till they do just what they say, till Naija begins to change.
I no go think twice to make una know say people they suffer. The Nigerian youths they suffer for this country. But I no go think twice to make una know say solution dey. The solution when dey be say make we sit down, make we think how we go take build this country.
You're put there to serve the people, to protect the people, to provide for the people, not to steal from them.
Most of us are tired, we're frustrated, you know, we expect so much and we get so little or nothing.
You're there to make Nigeria better for them. You're there to make life better for them. That's your responsibility, and if you don't live up to that, then history will judge you.
And we still have hope in Nigeria. You know, the change has to start from somewhere, and we're willing and we're ready, you know, but we need you who's the leader to put things right and give us an enabling environment for things to start to work as it should for us as a nation.
Our nation can achieve a lot more if the demographic called young people can be given a lot more attention than they have received.
There are lots of people like me, passionate, enthusiastic, energetic, who want to come into Nigeria and help build and develop. And with the right infrastructure, these people can enable you achieve your vision.
Just give us the opportunity through constant electricity to create these jobs for ourselves. It shouldn't be so difficult for any serious-minded government to do. Give Nigerians the opportunity to do things for themselves. It's not too much to ask.
For every day you're in office, you owe it to God and to man to serve us right.
Let us make this country work. This is a Nigeria for all of us. There are enough resources to go around. Yes, leadership problems. Yes, followership problems. But this is a Nigeria for all of us. Let us make this work. And this Nigeria is about now. It is not the future. It is not tomorrow. It is now.
We don't want you out of the system so we could come in and take part of the national cake. No, that's not the message. We want you there to support and groom the next generation. Listen and then empower the next generation.
See your position as a leader as an opportunity to make an impact, to be remembered for good.
There's a few good men out there, you know, in government. And I just beg these few good men not to just sit back and just watch the bad eggs steal the shine, take over the whole system.
Nigeria needs to change, so you can either choose to be a part of that change and choose to lead that change, or get changed yourself.
It's really for one thing, to deliver the Nigeria of our dreams, the Nigeria that works, the Nigeria that all of us will be proud to hand over to the next and the next and the next generation.
We are watching. We believe that you would do the things you said you would do, and hopefully you will do them.
But you look around you really deeply and see the people that are actually looking up to you. we are Nigerians and we'll always watch out for Nigeria.
We go hail the government of the day. We go say them to try. This one are my prayer. This one are my wish. This one are the dream of every Nigerian.
Hopefully one day Nigeria will be the Nigeria of our dreams. And we are desperately waiting for that day.
God gave us oil in the Delta, water for Benue and Naija, mineral resources all over. And then he called us Nigeria. We have no natural disaster. Now we dey cause kata. We come dey fall asunder. It dey make me dey wonder why we are so bright, we turn oh why still we got no unity. Yeah, we are so white, pure joy. So white, so white, yeah. Don't ever forsake us, but we forsake ourselves. Yeah. Heaven just wants to help us, but we must help ourselves. Yeah. So why can't we even try to live in unity? It's up to you and I. We have survived military suppression, not to mention the oppression of the mind. I see all of this pretension and dissension from Africa's center of attention. Now that we have our freedom, we throw away all our wisdom. In the name of religion and politics, what is this? Now we're fighting injustice, killing one another, no remorse. Stuck like traffic in Lagos. I tell you what this means, we gotta move forward, cause we're behind in the race.